employers are struggling with all of the AI-enabled candidates, but at the same time, they're not issuing any guidance for best practices. Like, here's how we use AI. Here's how you should be using AI, and here's how you shouldn't be using AI, right?
I think there needs to be better PR for AI interviewing, outwardly facing to candidates.
Sure.
And here's the piece that I think is like the win-win. One.
Welcome to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
Great. You might know this guy. This is Kyle David Lagunas. Everybody give you the full 3-name intro?
I mean, am I in trouble?
It sounds like, well, we're going to find out if you're in trouble. So a couple of observations first. We've known each other for a while here in this crazy world of HR and TA tech. Kyle's gone out on his own recently. Absolutely love it. But there's something I observed. The swag game is strong. The swag game, back to the cardigan, which I noticed at Unleash. And then he had the pocket jammy. Oh, we got double whammies over here.
Yeah.
What is the next inclination in the Willy Wonka swag shop?
I love a dad hat. I think I'm going to have to go with a dad hat.
Like a soft brimmy kind of thing.
You know, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to go for. My nieces and nephews are asking for hoodies.
Yeah, you got to do hoodies.
So, yeah.
I like it. Isn't it fun making swag for your own company?
It's them, our head of marketing. Brandis is...
You're doing all the swag?
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
I mean, literally, we look sharp.
I love it. Awesome. So, let's have
we also know some things.
We do know some things. So Let's talk about knowing some things. First and foremost, anyone out there, tell real quick who you are, what you guys do best.
Yeah, so I'm Kyle. I have one of the coolest jobs in the industry. I get to study innovation cycles in this wacky world of HR tech and transformation. I'm an industry analyst.
All right.
And I would say I'm the industry analyst. Ow.
That's a bold statement right there. So you said something really interesting, which is cycles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back 3 years to my first transform, and the big word on the street then was AI. It's still AI, but back then we were still in the early bird. I'd say we were in like the first couple innings. We're moving out. State of the Union, AI specifically in recruiting, and we'll start with the world of sourcing. We'll touch a little bit on interviewing. We'll touch a little bit all these pieces here.
Cool.
State of the Union with Kyle.
I think before we did more stuff, and now we're trying to do better work. That's what we're looking at this year. Succinct enough for you?
I actually really like that statement. If you scan around the room here, there's a lot of companies doing the same thing. I thought I would come here and it'd start to be weeded out a little bit because of either consolidation or because everyone's building on the same platform except for a couple of people.
Yeah.
Where's the truth in that, and where's the misconceptions?
I mean, honestly, there wasn't as much consolidation as people were saying that we were going to have. A lot of people stayed on the board. I mean, there was a lot of impact across the space as to stay on the board, right? But I think those who have made it through, I think that it's done. The bloodbath is over. But that's because people are AI really unlocked the ability for vendors to bring a completely new level of value and innovation to their customers faster than they ever were before. So yeah, I think that the race is back on.
Well, the other piece that I'm seeing too is that there's a lot of companies out there, not the TA tech companies, but the actual client side. They're saying, we could just build this technology ourselves with Claude.
Facts. Yeah.
So that's what I think in my vision, Claude is going to pull back some of these companies that thought they were going to have a head start, or thought that they were going to make some headway in the space.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. That's definitely a risk. I actually have been talking to a lot of go-to-market leaders about how are you tracking the degree of build that your customer or your prospects are taking on, right? Because it's something they need to track. If I'm coming into an organization where there's a lot of building in that culture, it's gonna be a tough sell. And I don't want to burn a bunch of calories on it. But I think that's actually great because talent acquisition teams have never been able to fully solution themselves. That's why this space is so vibrant, because there's so many problems for us to solve, right? And if you have a problem, then somebody's probably raised $20 million for Series A to solve it for you. Well, now, baby, we can actually solve some of our own problems, and that creates a different dynamic in the markets.
What new problems are we trying to solve right now that didn't exist a couple of years ago?
The big one, fraud. fraud.
We went from AI to fraud.
You know,
Fraud's a
yeah,
big one.
right. I mean, not only is there already like just massive influx of volume because
Well, AI opened
more
the door
people
for
looking
that.
for jobs, and
Right.
yeah, people are building application agents.
Perfect storm for
right?
fraud.
But in the middle of all of that noise and that volume is bad actors. And I mean, I never thought I would say that I know multiple friends, first-degree connections, who have had the FBI in their office because they've hired like an agent of a foreign state.
It's
That's
so
wild.
crazy.
That's wild.
I don't think we would have thought about this a couple of years ago. I mean, you and I have some mutual friends in the space, and I've heard horror stories
Yeah.
where this is really happening.
Yeah.
And the last thing a company wants is to be infiltrated and be the Trojan horse.
Yeah, for sure. But it does happen. I think that it is interesting to see how the different members of the solution stack are solving for it. I was having a conversation yesterday. Somebody's like, should this live in the ATS? I'm like, well, the ATS definitely needs to have something
Well,
there.
is it at the front door?
So there has to be something there. It's not like one place
Correct.
that needs to be solved for, right? I did a benchmark analysis of 12 AI interviewers, and many of them have screen analysis capabilities
I'm
to
gonna get
see
comfortable.
if who you look like in your first interview and who you look like in your next interview matches
I
up.
was just talking about this with another one where they're literally doing it manually.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're literally saying, all right, we have
Get
the
your
video from the
ID.
first one.
Yeah.
Hold it up. But we could talk about sourcing and AI interviewing. I want to talk about something that I really don't talk about a lot
Okay.
on the show. Let's talk a little bit about benefits. What are you seeing in the benefits space here? I never talk about benefits except for yesterday when we were talking with our friends over at Overalls. That's why I want to ask this guy about that. Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about benefits. What is exciting? What is interesting? What is innovative in the benefits world?
I mean, look, I think that AI is the great equalizer. And I think that benefits was an incredibly burdensome, complicated, like heavy lift thing to
Like a must-have.
build and deliver for, like there's the benefit space is massive. A benefits show, they would laugh at the size of the show. Do you know what I mean? Like there is just a lot of industry there because there's it's very complicated. Well, AI can actually now help, like an AI interface can actually help me personalize what I need. And
That's the part that I love.
right.
The
Yeah.
customization of what I need versus blanket benefits.
It's like
it's
open
a la
enrollment,
it's
I'm
a la
like,
carte.
what do I got? What do I want? Like what are these plans?
I don't know what these
know.
acronyms mean. What is it going
Yeah,
to cover? Does it
yeah.
cover my doctor?
Yeah, but now I can actually talk to a chat interface, and it's going to be like, "Hey, girl, this is what this is. That's what that is. This is how you should be looking at
this is
these
what you need."
things, based on your profile. That you are single. I'm not. I'm taken. But you're single. You don't have kids. I have 2 dogs.
Fur babies.
This is what you should probably consider, right? Like that's really useful. Whereas before, my HR business partner was not going to have time to sit down with every member of my team to help them figure out their personal
well,
plan.
that's a piece that I love too. Is like using the technology to have a better employee experience.
Sure.
And the benefits is interesting. And I as an in the trenches recruiter, I'm hearing more and more from candidates when I talk around compensation. More candidates are aware of what total comp means, and they're asking better questions
Yeah.
to understand that. So me as a recruiter, I got to be prepared to say, okay, the company contributes 75%, they contribute 100% to that, and the smart and savvy candidates are going to be the ones who stand out because they know what the heck they're doing. So you're an analyst on the tech side, but let me ask you this just too. Like you have your finger on the pulse. This is a crazy job market. What are you hearing from candidates out there as far as good and bad experiences with the technology?
I mean, they're really
let's
still
switch
very
your point of view. Yeah.
I mean, it's a fraught conversation right now because on the one hand, employers are struggling with all of the AI enabled candidates, but at the same time, they're not issuing any guidance for best practices. Like, here's how we use AI, here's how you should be using AI, and here's how you shouldn't be using AI, right? So I'm not really seeing that dialogue between employers and candidates, job seekers, and I think that is such a miss. That's such a simple thing, right? As a result, there's a lot of friction.
There is.
Like AI interviewers, I brought those up. I'm on Reddit, and I see people were like, they like, I haven't even spoken to a human and I'm not going to talk to an AI before I talk to a human. And meanwhile, there's 3 recruiters that are managing 6,000 racks, it's like, well, babe, you're never going to talk to a human unless you talk to this AI.
If you're in recruiting, you already know that sourcing eats up way more of your day than it should. That's why I use Pin. Instead of writing Boolean searches and tweaking filters, you just describe what you're looking for and who you're looking for in plain English. I could type something like software engineer at Series A startup with 0 to 1 product experience, and Pin will surface a relevant shortlist right away. No guessing, no wasted time. It turns hours of sourcing into seconds. So book a demo today and see for yourself. Visit pin.com/demo. Tell them Adam sent you.
I think there needs to be better PR for AI interviewing, outwardly facing to candidates.
Sure.
And here's the piece that I think is like the win-win. One, if you put on your front line from a friction an AI interviewer, every candidate, no one's going to get ghosted because you have an option to take that
No one's
interview.
gonna get
Number
ghosted.
two, you could interview 24 hours a day on your own schedule.
Yeah.
Number three, you'll be able to either self-select and say, you know what, I started this AI, this role's not right for me. I'm just kind of applying to everything because that's what I'm doing right now. And you feel like you're having a touch point with that company.
Yeah.
We're moving more into this phase where candidates are accepting that. And we're still a little early, but I think it's going to be more of the rule and not the exception.
I hope so, but it's just people are really frustrated right now, you
Job
know,
seekers
and so like even though I do think that value proposition exists, I do think that that's real. People are not necessarily hearing it. You know, they're like, yeah, sure. They're like, you know, and so I just we need to get past this hump. You know, I talk to a lot of HR leaders and not just talent acquisition, and in HR, they're like, I'm struggling to get my employees to trust our plan for them with AI. They are all just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. So there's just a big power.
That's a whole other
you know,
can of worms. That's a whole other
dynamic.
That's a whole other can of
So how would job seekers trust what you're telling me? You know, so it's just this is something that like it's really we need to really be focusing on what can we be doing to navigate this wave, because this is going to keep moving very fast.
There's also a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these tropes that are going around where the truth is really not clear.
No, it's
because,
not.
You know, a stereotype is a stereotype, a trope is a trope for a reason, because there is some truth within that.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we need like a governing body.
Hmm.
A governing body that is apolitical and does not interfere or have any influence from an outside pulse, so to speak. Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, it would be nice to have something. Something that we are working on is our we have a human-centric AI council. It's all HR and talent leaders, and they're really just trying to create best practices for each other, resources for each other. We offer them up for free. We do have underwriters to make that possible, but those underwriters don't influence any of the work. They just support it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this for a second. What's the core purpose? What's the output of this committee?
Yeah, I mean, last year it was like AI was everywhere all at once, and HR was like, "Oh shit, what am I supposed to do?" And as part of my job, I'm talking to people doing work all the time. How are you figuring this out? I knew that there were HR and talent leaders who actually are feeling pretty confident in this, so I brought them together.
Right, there's different levels
right?
of comfort and experience.
You know? And also people who are willing to roll their sleeves up, people who are in between jobs, then we're looking for meaningful work to do. Yeah. So it ended up being a really rich experience, and they have produced some serious shit. Like, it is amazing what they've produced because they're drawn to the mission to help their colleagues navigate this. There's a lot of content, right? We're content creators, both of us, but there's not a lot of practitioner-led best practice resources. And I'm really excited to bring it out.
I mean, we're a little biased because we're in this industry, but I really love the collaboration of the community here.
Me too.
Rising tides lift all ship. Collaboration over compete. All right, let's finish strong here. We're gonna do a couple of hot takes, or more like love it or leave it kind of situation here. What are you loving as far as new tech? You could give some flowers if you want. You don't have to name, but like, because we don't want to do name and shame, but like, what's something that you walked the floor, had some conversation, like, wow, holy shit, this is awesome. You just lit me up.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have to give a shout out to Find'em. They had just did a rebrand. They are a client of mine. I really like working with them.
They're friends. They're friends of the family.
Yeah, sure. But they one of the quiet parts of their new rebrand and their new launch was data labeling capabilities, which helps AI actually get the context it needs to deliver more value. Babes, that is the future. Like the final mile of AI is what we're finding matters the most. And they're the first vendor that I hear talking about how they're contextualizing data. So I think that's super interesting. We also are, I'm loving seeing the AI, like the more advanced AI interviewers, the ones that are doing behavioral assessments or role playing. So I did a demo of Code Signal's AI interviewer, and it was a head of procurement that was interviewing an AE. The AI believes that it is the head of procurement.
So it's now putting itself not just a generic interviewer, but from the point of view of the actual hiring manager at the level that they're at and the type of questions they'd be asking.
Yeah.
That's what we're it's an evolution. We're elevating. We're evolving.
Right? It's just like a perfect use case. And then I do have to give a shout out to my buddy G at Kinfolk. They are building a completely different type of Gentic HR solution. And I just love them. I got to work with him at Beamery. And he
Cool.
and his business partner are awesome. So yeah, shout out to them.
What are we hating? You don't have to name,
hating?
no naming and shaming, but what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm hating generic. I'm hating like vendors running the exact same playbook that they always have.
I'm hating bad swag.
You know, yeah, bad swag. There's plenty. Like, I don't need socks, babe. I really don't. Or a cheap water bottle.
How many water bottles do I need? If my wife's like, if you bring home one more freaking water bottle from a conference, we literally have that shelf at our house that is just filled with like random, every name you see here, water bottles.
Oh, and see, my family is like, do you get any new Yetis? Like, get me a, like,
Well,
what do you got?
Well,
so I'm bringing all this stuff back.
It's like really, really, it has to be like a very,
Yeah.
it has to be a good one.
Yeah.
Very discerning. No, but you said like running the same playbook. Are there any pros to running the same playbook? What if it's working?
It's not. Show up, fill your booth with a bunch of AEs and expect like to build business. I would rather them have their solutions people here and their product people here, but who am I?
Well, he is Kyle. Kyle, tell us a little bit about the podcast. Where can folks find you? Where can they listen? Where can they connect? Where can they learn more?
Thanks, Adam. So I have my own little podcast. It's not as prolific as yours, but it's called Transformation and Realness.
It's pretty good.
But you should also go to kyleandco.com, check out the research that we publish, and then find me on LinkedIn. I'm a loser. I check in every morning.
Everybody in this room is a LinkedIn loser.
I love it.
I mean, I can't quit her.
I know.
I can't. I took.
wish I could quit you.
You can't. I took Facebook off my phone. I don't miss it at all. That's like, I'm fine. All right. Kyle's the man. I appreciate him.
Bye, guys.
It's time for lunch.
Thank you.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search the Podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.